Sénégal.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Chair. We like to acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Charles Lorenzo, the Chairperson of the African Union. And as I start this statement, I would like to seize the opportunity to convey the brotherly greetings of President Bassirou Faye of Senegal, who unfortunately could not be with us because he's still on the way to New York. We like to also re-echo the expression of commendation for the untiring commitment of the President of Sierra Leone in the promotion of C-10 interests of Africa relating to the reform of the United Nations Security Council. We also wish to express satisfaction with the presence of the chairperson of the African Union, Mr. Mohamed Yusuf. We are grateful to him for the support he's given to this committee. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture where multilateralism is being challenged, we are happy to be able to meet here for the 20th anniversary of our common position document, as well as the celebration of the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. This happens at a time when United Nations is confronted with many challenges, including the delays in the implementation of the 2030 agenda, and thus having impact on the ability of the continent to take up challenges to resolve issues relating to peace and security. Notwithstanding the efforts deployed by the Secretary General to ensure that the various organs are able to carry out their function adequately, there is also some other urgent needs that have emerged, which have to do with greater justice, representativeness, and allocation of commitment or sharing of duty on the continent. Because 80 years after it was created, the Security Council is still a unique organ, which is such that a small portion of the membership of the organization are monopolizing the power as against the majority of the members. The Ezewini Declaration and the CERT Declaration are statements that come in a timely manner to repair this injustice that is done to Africa, where our countries are still deprived of the access to international sovereignty. As a matter of fact, we commend leaders for the effort that has been invested so far on this matter, where the effort is made to present Africa as a special case for special attention. And this is seen in the common African position that we have brought up. In the same vein, the adoption by the African, of the common position, which will be presented during the ongoing session of the General Assembly, is indeed another pathway that will enable us to have an effective progress through the IGN. The way is long, but nothing should stop us from carrying to the conclusive end this commitment to take steps to resolve problems for the welfare and benefits of majority of the population in the world. Africa should be an accelerator of the reform that is being proposed that will enable all parties to get involved in a fair and logical process of reform. The roadmap to 2030, which was validated by the Lusaka conference, is pointing to the right direction. And therefore, we need, at the general debate session of this 80th session, underscore that. And I would like to give you the assurance of the position of Senegal on the support to this position and the determination to ensure that Africa is given the entitled position within the Security Council permanent membership. Thank you.
Senegal. And I invite statements from our distinguished guests, member states, and interest groups participating in the intergovernmental negotiations. We will go in this order for now, and we start with Brazil Foreign Minister on behalf of G4.
His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone and Coordinator of the African Union Committee of C-10. His Excellency João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço, President of the Republic of Angola and Chairperson of the African Union. His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the African Union Commission. Ministers and heads of delegation of C-10. Excellencies, I thank President Julius Maada Bio of the Republic of Sierra Leone, as well as other leaders from C-10 states, for inviting the G4 to attend this meeting. It's an honor for Brazil to speak on behalf of the G4 countries. As we mark the 20th anniversary of the Eswini Consensus, alongside with the CERT Declaration, we celebrate a valuable contribution of African diplomacy to the global debate on the Security Council reform. The consensus remains the most authoritative and unified expression of Africa's legitimate demand to address historical injustice through greater representation in both categories of the United Nations Security Council membership. It calls for the correction of historical injustice that have left the continent without permanent membership in the Council. Mr. President, we are living in unprecedented times. The 80th anniversary of the United Nations is marked by relentless challenges which risk pushing the world into an unpredictable spiral. The survival of multilateralism is now at stake. It is precisely in the face of these challenges that a representative, legitimate, and effective United Nations with a fully functional and responsive Security Council is needed the most. And yet, there are some who still hesitate, falter, and lay idle instead of moving for urgent action on reform. We all know this is not an option, it's a necessity. The African Union and G4 are united in their call for urgent reform of the Security Council with the expansion of both categories of membership. The world leaders recognized at the Summit of the Future the importance of improving the representation of the underrepresented or unrepresented regions and groups, such as Africa, South Pacific, and Latin American and the Caribbean. Adequate representation of countries from these regions and groups on the Council is essential for making it more representative, more legitimate, and more effective, capable of fulfilling its role under the UN Charter. It is evident that G4 firmly supports the case of Africa. Mr. President, the G4 model proposes that the Security Council's membership increase from the current 15 to 25 or 26 by adding 6 permanent and 4 or 5 non-permanent members. Among the 6 new permanent members, 2 are proposed to be from each of African states and Africa and Asia Pacific states, 1 from Latin America and Caribbean states, and 1 from Western European and other states. On rights and prerogatives associated with permanent membership, such as the veto, G4 takes the position that new permanent members should, in principle, bear the same responsibilities and obligations as the current ones. Mr. President, the time has come to voice the convergence which is also shared by a clear majority of member states. Let us take the 80th session of the General Assembly as a historical opportunity for change. Let us work together to translate years of discussion into concrete, result-oriented, text-based negotiations with clearly defined timelines where the interests and the needs of every region and groups can be properly assessed and debated. The African Union can count on the G4 in this regard. I thank you very much.